last night before I went to bed. Internet went out. I was listening to the video we made and didn't finish. Anyway, I woke up and I went to go next door and unplug the internet thing and plug it back in, see if it went in. So it says in my head, he goes, no, maybe it's off for a reason. Maybe you can get better sleep. Maybe the internet down, you'll have less of a invasion from outside. Okay. Still think I'm having Air Force dreams. He goes, yeah, probably. So I go to bed and I sleep. And to all of you that perceive yourself as a Muslim, all of you that perceive yourself as a Mormon, what Joseph Smith was doing, he wasn't attempting to do. He was doing it. He was living Islam, and he kept going to where he could live Islam. And everywhere he went, and the infidels came to stop what he was doing, he picked up and he kept going west. And same with Brigham Young. Okay, they were living Islam. Islam means living the faith of the Messiah. Okay. For all you infidels out there that don't understand what Islam is. Okay. Islam is living the faith of the Messiah. Esther. Okay. Ruth. Okay. Those are people living Islam in ancient times, of people that would accept pagan and heathen ways. And you can't do that. If you do that, you pass that on to children. That's like sitting there watching Entertainment Tonight and being excited and talking about what's really important is your family and that stuff, and pretending to be a mobster for money, and then say it's family's really important, and it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Why, somebody dropped you on your head. Did you really go into the ring and get the shit beat out of you by people that are actually willing to do that for money? Okay, do you understand? No. I will not step into a ring for money and beat the shit out of another person to justify paying extortion. My dad wouldn't do it. Okay. My Uncle Jimmy was going to the Golden Globes in the state of Texas and lost the fight to a young, poor Mexican man that Jimmy just didn't have the heart to beat because the kid needed to win. Okay. He needed the money. Jimmy was a cop and had a job. Okay. The other guy was a poor Mexican guy, and it was hard to get, especially in the parts of Texas where the other guy was from, probably like Dallas, Fort Worth area. And there are not as many jobs and opportunities for family. See, it's hard in New Mexico and West Texas. There's like people, it's like a network. Yeah, you got to have friends or family that that get you the job, like it's in a federal or state, whatever jobs, yes. Because it was hard for years. Mexicans were exploited. I mean, not exploited, or you were exploited and given the crappy jobs, and they were exploited and excluded. Okay. And in New Mexico, they have like a little thing where you can't get a job because you got to be someone's cousin. Okay. It's like, what? That's racism. It's not racism. It's survival. Okay. Racism, race to your race for your life. Charlie Brown, just listen to me. Okay. Islam. We're talking about living Islam. Okay. And I had these officers in the Air Force that I connected to last night that have been to the Middle East and where there's Islam. People always tell me that, well, where the real Muslims are at. Where the real Muslims are at. Okay. Okay. Where the real Muslims are at. Okay. A woman migrates away from persecution because she's seen as property by a man who's a barbarian. Okay. She's born in South Korea. And she gives birth to the Messiah. Where's the real Muslim at? In South Korea. Right. Okay, do you understand what you're saying? Life's eternal, grace is infinite. This is a planet where we are given life by the glory of God, not the perception of your little fucked up ego. Yeah, I said it. Okay, vulgar intercourse is what you say to me every time you come and correct me on Islam. I am Islam. You are not Islam. You do not. My evidence far exceeds your perception of your ego. Okay? I am Earl, the son of Ralph and Mary from the book of Revelation. Okay? You are not for a reason. Okay? That's why people used to ask me, are you Muslim? And I said, no, I'm not a secular Muslim in an organization of economics that abuses people with their perception. No, I am not that Muslim. I am Islam. Okay? Do you understand me? I am sick of you self-righteous, pompous, arrogant, Mormon, Jack, asshole Muslims calling me a barbarian and a heathen. Yes, I eat pork. Okay. Would you let your self-righteousness die for your family? Okay. Yes, I am from a southern migrating family that eats pork. I grew up on pork chops and rice. And the old Mormon cookbook thing that my mom had because my dad liked it. My mom had a kosher cookbook from her grandmother, Mildred Kramer. Okay. It was a kosher cookbook. My Jewish studies professor, who was a Reformed rabbi at ASU, was all excited. He said, oh my gosh. So my mom, he used to let me see it, and Mom had some of her recipes in her cookbook, and I let him see them. He goes, these are all kosher recipes. Your grandma's name is Kramer. Parsons, you're a Jew. So what? Your grandmother's a Jew. You're a Jew. They spent the whole rest of the semester taking me to synagogue and trying to get me to convert. And I said, I don't buy the whole redheaded stepchild thing. Well, because my mom's a Murphy and she's redheaded stepchild. Okay. They were like, what? I don't buy any of this stuff. God is God. Life is eternal and grace is infinite. There you go. Okay. Work with that. Right? These people. So my evidence far exceeds your perception. Okay, so you're going to have to submit to that and then submit to faith and submit to living the perfection of the Lord's Prayer like Job, Jonah, Ruth, Esther, Khadijah, Muhammad, and Hassan and Hussein and me. Okay, and me. Okay, do you understand? It's irrelevant and unimportant what you think and what you're doing, fighting and killing over money in airplanes, dropping bombs on people for the right. Okay, choose the right. I don't think so. Okay, espionage. You can't write down that you can spy on other people's marriages and destroy their intimacy over money and call yourself a Muslim. Okay, it's just not tangible. It's like telling Malachi Young and Brigham Young that, oh, hey, we're real Christians. No, you're not. Then if you explain to them Islam because they don't understand Arabic, holy crap, you're like Abraham. Yes. Come on over and bring your girls, because that was the big thing. Was that's what got Joseph Smith killed by hypocrites, the infidels here, was polygamy, what they refer to it as. You cannot marry a man who sees you as property and does not give you the freedom and respect to choose a man that loves you and you love him, and it's a holy covenant that lasts through eternity. Okay. 1,000,000 years from now, I'll be loving you still. Tomorrow morning, I'm hitting the dusty road, and I'm looking for you. Nobody knows it but me. Do you understand? Even life's eternal grace is infinite, and the devil and Satan always keep us in marriage apart. Okay. If it's Tybalt with Romeo and Juliet, which is fiction, but has a lot of weight to it. Shakespeare has a lot of weight to him. He has a lot of values in him that he calls it's social satire and calling people on their hypocrisy, right? Which has a lot of the spirit of Abraham in it. Okay. And people have always said that when you read Shakespeare. Wow, there's a lot of spirit of Abraham in this William Shakespeare kid. Life's eternal and grace is infinite. People migrate because men consider their women property and abuse them. And what do women do? Just walk away, Renee. You won't see me follow you back home. Okay, do you understand? I'm talking to officers in the U.S. military that do surveillance and are part of surveillance for economics that consider themselves Muslims and judge me as you're not a proper Muslim or a proper Mormon. Yeah, go jack off. Okay. Muhammad tells me that all the time. Earl, you're given life by the glory of grace, and you're you for a reason. Now be you, and sell it in. It's your destiny. This is your legacy. Claim it. They're not going to stand up with you for it, and they're not going to give it to you. You're going to have to claim it from the devil. You're going to have to claim it from Satan. Their self-righteous, pompous arrogance. They think they're pulling your purse strings, but who's pulling theirs? There is no purse. Everything is meant to shine the eternal light on the infinite essence of divine glory. But at the time, he said to me, the hands of divine glory. Because he was speaking in the vernacular, and you guys were invading the conversation and spying on us. And the translation wasn't as good as it could be because of your technology, not because of our love. So, says Saladin. All in the family. I watched that growing up. Oh, Archie! That's so disrespectful to his wife. Yeah, and she always makes him look stupid because he's arrogant and pompous, and he covers up his ignorance with arrogance. Yes, lots of people do that. They cover up their ignorance with arrogance. Heathens, hypocrites. Yeah. So we've got this. And we, meaning me, Saladin, Sun Yat-sen, Haile Selassie, Ruth, Khadijah, Esther. Yeah, well, that was a good prayer, though. Well, I got lots of, Khadijah and Ruth and Esther stuff with the women, going, Earl, go get them. Going, thank you. Thank you, girls. Love you, too. You are the husband. We are the wives. And what did Saladin say? We need more husbands for the wives. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we do. He's right. He told me that, Sheriff Vista. I need you to go out there, and I need you to make more husbands for my wives. Do like Mark. I can make you feel pain, right? It's being facetious, but it's very colorful, and it helps. Hey, everybody's like, he wouldn't say that. He cut people's heads off in public because they agreed with him privately and then didn't agree with him publicly. The mullahs set that up. Oh, it's horrible. Yeah. As he had to. And he would tell these Europeans, if you do this, you have to tomorrow declare that Jesus is not a God and that he is the Messiah and the prophet. And only God is God. And if I make a man into a God, I am a bastard taking my ego and trying to replace God with my ego. And they would have these conversations and they would agree with them. And then in public, I can't do that. I can't go back home. Then make home here. Migrate. Okay. I will send people with you to escort, to make send for your family and have them, people you can trust that will convert with you and come be a Christian that's a true Muslim here with me in the Holy Land. People will attack to try to kill me, and we'll defend you to the last because you are right and they are wrong. That's the type of guy Lord Saladin is. Life's eternal and grace is infinite. I know we're a lot alike. All right. Peace out.